Hey everybody, it's John Bipbopboom. Although that's not my name, I guess that's just my handle. But this is just like a last minute video. It's not last minute, but I just decided to do it now. But I guess I got 200 subscribers or more than 200, so that's some sort of landmark. So I want to just say thank you to everybody, and if you're sick of this channel, you don't like it, feel free to unsubscribe, because I don't know who my subscribers are. I can't check on my telephone or this iPad here. I gotta go to a different computer. But since it's 200 subscribers, I'll try to make this one fun. I'll do a couple different things. First off, let's start off what I'm listening in the background. This is called Northwest Metalworks Volume 1, and Greeno, I'm pretty sure it was Greeno showed this, and I bought it. Yeah, it was Greeno's 2 videos ago showed it, and I bought it right away. What this is a compilation of Northwest bands, Oregon and Washington, or Seattle and Portland mainly, but of 80s bands. I think it goes up, one band's from 92, which is lousy, and there's 2 bands from the 70s that are really, really good. But I guess it's a guy, it's not a record label put it out. I mean, it's a record label now, but it was a guy, a music fan, who's documenting the whole Northwest scene. He's put out a couple records, and he's putting out a giant book. And there's some interviews or something, you can find out about him online, but if you look up NW Metalworks with an X. But I get this record for, he's selling for pretty cheap. It's under $20, and it was like 20 bucks for shipping. And it's really, really good. It's a great old school comp, especially bands I never heard of any of them, but I'll go through them. This is side 2 we'll listen to. We'll listen to Glacier, just good US metal. But Heir Apparent is kind of like a Queensryche wannabe, or they sound a bit like Queensryche. And obviously the Northwest, Queensryche were king over there. And then there's Taste of Iron, which Chris Vinyl Transmission just showed their actual LP. Chick singer, but on this track she sings like a man, so it's kind of cool. She's straight up metal singer. Whiskey Sticks, 70s dudes, but they sound a bit like Deep Purple, especially the stuff I sampled. They have reissued an album, or put an album out of their demos and stuff. All original Deep Purple kind of stuff. Outrage, I don't remember. Assault and Battery, fantastic one-off thrash band, like third-rate thrash, but you know, in 1989, it was in the era, and it's really, really interesting, really good song. And then Overlord, more of a hard rock, punkish metal band, like I'd call them like a local band, but pretty cool, like more denim than leather. Steel Sea, great tune. Corella, really good. And then High Voltage, 1975, but they've got this like almost 60s thing going, and it's singing about freedom, but it's like a pro-patriot, pro-war freedom, which is kind of interesting, because usually it's always like coming from a counterculture. Oh yeah, this Overlord is live, but anyway, it's a really good record for the money. I really enjoy it. The only thing I say is there's no little stories or blurbs about the band. It came with some sort of merchandise sheet with the other stuff available. But I recommend it. I think it's only like 500 copies. So I would recommend this, because you're not going to find these demos, and some of this was unreleased. And it came with a sticker. And I'm already at 4 minutes. That's not good. Not good. So I want to just talk about different things. I'm wearing an old Zodiac Mind Warp shirt, which was actually my wife's from, I'd say, what do you say, like 88 maybe? But figure since 200 subscribers, I'm going to show a cool denim jacket I have from the new wave of British heavy metal era. I got this off of eBay back when I used to collect this stuff. And it's an old jacket. I don't know if this was a band. Someone probably knows. I should have looked it up, but it says Akira. It's all like a magic marker. And I don't think I put that on, but it's possible. Old Motorhead pin. But it's got Anvil, and it's signed by Rob Reiner, Ian Dixon and what's it, Dave Allison. No Lips, but it's got the original three. I think they were back together since like '78 through like the mid '80s. That lineup. What else does it have? It's got the original singer of NWOBHM. Dizzy signed it. So I'm thinking this jacket was like around '82, '83. But this is the killer on the back. He's got the old Venom logo from Welcome to Hell. So that's why I think it's early '80s. But check it out. Club and Hoof. Probably like the only Club and Hoof jacket ever. And then on the bottom he's got Venom here. The Welcome to Hell. And it was signed, I think, Kronos. He wrote Kronos the King, and maybe that's Abaddon there. But it's definitely Mantis there. But it's some patch, I don't know what it was. You can see all the marks where there were multiple buttons and stuff. But this is a killer new wave of British heavy metal jacket. And I got it from England, obviously. Whoops. So that's my treat for, and it fits too. That's my treat for the 200 subscriber video. Just an old relic. It's Lee. I like Levi better, but I'm not going to complain. And another treat. This I ordered in October 9th, 1984. I'm going to cover up my old address. That's my parents' address. This is the Grim Reaper promo thing. All Hell Let Loose tour. But this was the sampler before the record came out. It was like, I think it was maybe Hit Parade or a circus you sent away to get a, I think that's the sticker from the original record I saved. But you got a flexi disc, like a little promo disc. And look at that, produced by that Ebony RCA. So it's pretty cool. And it was a contest. Oh, that's right. I don't have that. I remember the story now. It was a contest. I think you had to write like an essay or something about like heavy metal ruling the world or something silly, and you send it in, and you could get like a free Grim Reaper record or something. But there was a grand prize. I think it was like a VCR or something. But I sent it in. I remember writing the little letter and sending it in. So the sheet's gone. But anyway, nothing ever happened. I didn't win anything. But many years later in Boston, I played in a band with this guy John. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But he was one of the only guys I could talk metal with in like the rockabilly scene. But we were talking about Grim Reaper. But he was the guy who won the contest. He was from New Hampshire. And he used to have a radio show, a metal show in the 80s too. But he won the contest with his essay and got the VCR, I don't know if it was a CD player in '84, but something, the grand prize, he got it. And it was funny meeting him, you know, in the mid-'90s and reminiscing of, like, somehow the conversation got to that. But he was the winner. Then the other thing I wanted to show, we're just going to vary it up. I saw Greeno showing, what did he get? Cracked Brain. But I was trying to get some of the, fill in the holes on my Creator and Destruction, because I don't have them all. But I got this from Amazon. I was trying to get the reissues. I think I got some other stuff, but anyway. I ordered this, think it was a reissue, and it was off of Amazon. I went to the other sellers, and I got an original for like less than $20. It came sealed. It said new, sealed. So I was just thinking I was getting some noise reissue or something, but it's the actual Profile Records, Rock Hotel Records, which I think only did the Cro-Mags record and the first Murphy's Law and this, and that might be their whole catalog. And Rock Hotel was like it was connected with the Ritz. They would put on all the Ritz shows, the shows at the Ritz in New York City, and that's where I saw Destruction, the Cro-Mags at the Ritz in New York under Rock Hotel Productions. But it was weird to get a thrash metal 1988, not classic, but minor classic sealed new, and I don't know if there's more on there. Like if the guy had a whole box of them, or I just got like a one-off. But I was expecting a reissue, so I was pleasantly surprised. We're at 10 minutes. I want to discuss today. This video is going to be about an enigma in my collection, and I'm going to talk about Demon and Witchfynde, two new wave of British heavy metal bands that always puzzled me and I always got confused about, and I didn't necessarily love them or dislike them. This is a good song, but I'll go over I don't have the whole catalogs of either of them, but I'll go through each record, and they're very confusing band, very confusing. But this is Witchfynde's first record from 1980. Yeah, 1980, from Rondelay Records, who did like I think they put out some punk. They did the Gaskin record, and they did rockabilly records. I think they would license the Rollin' Rock records from LA to England. So it's a weird label. But this is one of the best looking new wave of British heavy metal records that I own, and it's like perfect. You got a sword. You know, they look scary. They look British, and they look 1980. And it's got a great label. Maybe one of the best metal label. There's Rondelay, but there's the not label, but and it's just it's a great record. But it took me a while to really love this record, because it does not sound like it looks. It's not that evil. It's not satanic. It's pretty rock and roll. Like, I mean, it's metal, but it's early new wave of British heavy metal. And I really like the guy's voice, Steve Bridges. He's got a great voice. I can't explain it. It sounds a little desperate and a little raspy, but not rough. But it's a new wave of British heavy metal voice, because I can't see this guy ever singing in any other genre. He wouldn't work in punk or straight up metal or, you know, any other genre. He was just made for this. And this is a good record. I like it better now. And I just listened to them the other day. I like it a lot better now. But not a great, musically not the best, but what a great piece it is. And then the second record, Stage Fright, which is this is an enigma by itself. And this is a reissue. I do not have the original. This was back on black, and it's a nice record. It sounds great. I know this record inside out only because I had like a burned CD of it for years. And but it's almost not a metal record, because it's very weird. It has some metal stuff, and Stage Fright, it almost sounds pub rock or punky, not Mohawk punky, but like rough British guitars, and it's got some real, like In the Stars is fantastic, you know, almost trippy stuff. But it's a really good record. I really love this record, but it's a tough one to recommend. You know, it could fall in that you don't like it at all, or it could just be mediocre to some people. But it's very interesting. It's a confusing record to wrap your head around. And then the third record, which is also, I think that's 81, and this might be 82 or 83, because they don't put... This is also from Back on Black, and this is the third record, Cloak and Dagger, and I don't care for this record. The singer left. They got a new singer who sounds like a young Rob Halford, like a Sad Wings of Destiny era Rob Halford at times. Great package as Back on Black's going to do. But it's just a very forgettable record. It's not terrible or anything. It's new wave of British heavy metal, but it's just kind of middle of the road. And I think the first song is like almost a pop metal song, like they were trying to get a radio play, and the rest of the album gets a little heavier. But it's weird. And then this is the fourth album, which is on Mausoleum and Attic. This is a Canadian version. I want to say the British was Gatefold, and that's the guitar player, Montallo. What's his name? Montallo. But this record is better than the third. Oh, it's got one of the great Attic. But it's still not a great record, although Scarlet Lady is a fantastic track, and the live, I think Moon Magic's good live. There's a couple good tracks on here, but this is definitely a better record than the third. But still, I don't know these inside out, even though I play them besides Stage Fright. And then I felt like I had some singles pulled out. Well, I think I had the In the Stars single. Maybe I'll look for it in a minute. Oh, that's what I want to show. I have this thing. On Stage Fright, I Would Not Be Seen Dead in Heaven. It's just a weird tune. It's like almost poppy or a hooky chorus, but not poppy in a commercial sense, because it's great. But anyway, I have a Dead Lord cover, and I might have showed this. Would Not Be Seen in Heaven, and then the other side is Black Trip cover, an Outlaw, the Riot number, classic. And this is great on High Roller, because it's just two cool choices to cover. And now I'll do Demon. I don't know if this is boring, this video. I'm getting, but there's Demon, another one with very similar to Witchfynde, as in like a great cover, fantastic cover. This might be 1981. Is it 1980 also? 1981, and it looks really evil. And it starts off really evil, this evil intro, and it just goes into like a hard rock metal British thing. And the singer reminds me a lot like Phil Mogg from UFO. He sounds a lot like him on some of these songs. It almost is like a rough metal version of UFO. They got a lot of rock songs on here. They try to flirt with evil a little bit, but they don't really succeed so much. But it's a good record. I mean, One Hell of a Night's a classic, and it looks so cool. But they're just a weird band, because I don't remember all the songs, and it's hard to categorize them. Here's the second record, Unexpected Guest, and these were on Clay. These are on Cara Ray, which also was connected with Clay, which was like the GBH record label. GBH, maybe the Lurkers, maybe Discharge, definitely, and some other bands like punk bands. So it's a weird label to be on. And oh, this is Gatefold. Oh yeah, cool, real cool, but it just doesn't sound like the way it looks. And this one's a little more metalish, and it's got like really evil songs, but it's just not that evil. Intro and Observation, Don't Break the Circle, The Spell, Total Possession, Sign of a Madman, Victim of Fortune, Strange Institution, Grand Illusion, which is not a Styx cover, Beyond the Gates, Deliver Us from Evil. But it's almost like a rock, like a metal, just a standard new wave of British heavy metal with a dirty Phil Mogg singing. But he doesn't sound as much like Phil Mogg on this record. But kind of cool. But then the real trouble is, and they came out with The Plague, and everyone chose this, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but what a bizarre record. It's not metal. It's like, it's not punk. It's just weird keyboardy, pop. It's not pop, because that makes it sound commercial. It's just a weird thing, and trying to be like a concept record. And these weird pencil drawings, and it's got this book in it, and there's a concept going on, but just weird, like in a primitive, almost like a Voivod feel, but not that they sound anything like Voivod, but that's like futuristic, odd riffs and stuff. But it's a bizarre record, and I don't know, I hated this record for a long time. I think I'm gonna like it one day. I put it on. It's very interesting, but weird. And this artist here, I could tell right away, is the same guy who did this Discharge EP, which is also on Clay Records. So I thought that was cool. I thought I had the singles pulled out, and the only other thing is, well, they were on some comps. At least Demon is, but all the same, all just album tracks. The Friday Rock Show's got he's got Demon doing One Hell of a Night, and then Witchfynde doing Belfast. And I think that's Witchfynde with the second singer. I like the first singer way better. This track sucks. I'm gonna put on. We got 20 minutes. That's longer than I wanted to do. I feel like I rambled a bit, but I'll put on the. Let's see. I've not played this. Hopefully this works. I'll put on the Grim Reaper. I just want to look for my other two singles. I thought I pulled them out.
Hi there, Steve Grimmick here, lead vocalist of Grim Reaper. I thought I'd like to tell you a few things about the band, because you guys out there in the States must be wondering what the hell British metal's up to. Well, I'll tell you, Grim Reaper's here to rock your arse off. We're just about to film the video to support our first stateside single called...
Here we go, sorry about the delay. This is Witchfynde, In the Stars, and Wake Up Screaming. This is a great single, and this is off that Stage Fright record. And this will be on Rondelay. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, cool. It's got one of these too. So this is a really cool single. It's almost like a heavy metal Beatles, like Tomorrow Never Knows Beatles, that kind of era. Really cool. And then this other Demon makes it look so damn evil. This is a picture disc, but that's fantastic. And it's just, I think, One Hell of a Night, and then Into the Nightmare, which I think both are off the first album. Both tracks are from 1981. But cool. And that was pretty cool there. He just samples the songs. But anyway, thank you for, oh, Jesus, I should have did this first. I want everyone to check out Leo. There's a guy, VC, called Leo, and his channel is, Too Much Metal is barely enough. That's what Too Much Metal is barely enough. And he just did a video on Hellhammer and Hellhammer related bands or sound-alike bands. It's fantastic, but he's got some good stuff, and he goes into a lot of the 90s stuff, which I know nothing about, and a lot of real dark metal. But also, his knowledge of 80s stuff is fantastic. But check out that Hellhammer video he did and subscribe to him. He doesn't have enough subscribers. For the quality of stuff he's putting out, he should have more subscribers than I have. But thank you for everyone who subscribes to me, and cheers to everybody.